From secretary to CEO to Senate candidate, Carly Fiorina is one of the most recognizable leaders in America today. She began her career as a secretary and 20 years later became the first woman to lead a Fortune 50 company. She's gone on to leverage her skill and experience as an innovator in the nonprofit realm, a best-selling author, a political commentator, and a business strategy expert.
What unlocks potential? Leadership. Leadership. In fact, the highest calling of leadership is to unlock the potential of others. Now let me explain a bit, because it may not be the definition of leadership you are expecting. People get real confused about leadership, in my opinion. We call a lot of people leaders who are not leaders at all. So let's talk for a moment about what it actually is and what it is not. Let's start with what it is not. Leadership is not management. It's important to have good managers. And a good manager can be a leader, and a leader can be a manager, but management and leadership are not the same. Well, when I was a secretary, I thought the guy in the corner office was a leader. And as I made my way up in big bureaucracies in corporate America, I continued to think, well, the guy, by the way, they were mostly guys, the guy in the corner office must be the leader. And then I figured out that there were lots of people in corner offices who had never led a day in their lives. And I saw other people who had no office, no perks, no titles, no big budgets, no big organizations, who were leading every day. Leaders change the order of things, and it does not matter if they have a title or not. Nelson Mandela, Bill Hybels referred to him earlier. He was not a leader because he became president. He became president because he was a leader. And he led as worse than a nobody. He led as a criminal in a jail cell, and by the time he came out of that jail, people already knew this is a leader. Not because he had a title, not because he had position, but because he was determined to change the order of things. And once again, he unlocked the potential in others, because leaders never accomplish anything worthwhile acting on their own. He unlocked the potential in others to change the face of his nation. The point is that it is very important for leaders to decide, how will I structure my team? Who is on my team? How will I develop my team? How will I organize my team to get work done? What kinds of processes will help us? If we are a bureaucracy that is crushing the potential of our employees and failing to serve those we are here to serve, then we have to decentralize decision-making in a radical way. Washington, are you listening? But structure always should follow strategy. You have to know why you're doing what you're doing. The hardest decision I ever made as a chief executive was to fire a direct report, a person of great potential, someone that I hoped would be my successor. But his behavior was something that we would not tolerate in a lower level employee. And so if we wanted anyone to believe what we said about the culture we were trying to build, then we had to walk the walk, and he had to go. A word about this. It's what I call the 20-20 rule. When people embark on leadership, a leadership journey, it's important to remember the 20-20 rule. Here's what it is, 20% of the people in most organizations, in my experience, no matter what kind of organization it is, 20% of people are what I call change warriors. I don't call them change agents, because change is a battle sometimes. They're change warriors. They're people who get it right away. Yes, I want to go from here to there. Harness those warriors, identify those warriors, enlist those warriors. And they are all throughout the organization. Age has nothing to do with it. Position has nothing to do with it. They're people who thrive. There's another 20%. They're what I call, I won't go. I'm not going. For whatever reason. I'm not going. I'm done learning in my life. I'm exhausted. I don't believe the vision. I don't really want to be here. They're just not going. And ultimately, they need to be identified too, and something has to be done to resolve the situation. But in the meantime, they become the source of resistance. And that leaves what? 60% of the people. What are 60% of the people? They're skeptics. They're waiting. They're trying to see, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? And guess what? Change never happens. Successful change never happens unless the 60% are moved. The skeptics have to get engaged. But I must tell you, and you know this, there is a look. There is a look that people get in their eyes when their potential has been unlocked. There's a look that people get when they achieve something that is beyond what they thought was possible. That look, it's the same everywhere in the world. It's the same for every person. That look is all the repayment a leader needs. So I would close by saying this to you. Leadership is a choice. Choose to lead. Choose to change the order of things. Choose to fulfill your own potential for leadership and choose the joy of unlocking the potential in others.